Guys, so today I want to talk about an anime that I watched and I actually surprisingly most to myself did quite enjoy. Now, that anime is Shokugeki no Soma, which in translation in English is Food Wars. As the name implies, it's a show about cooking. I'm very surprised at myself that I really enjoyed it, but it's more exciting than you'd expect. Anyway, this show was written by Yuta Tsukuda, this beautiful man here, and just for a second I would like to thank you for writing this. It is an amazing show. Anyway, so it's a two season anime. I've only watched the first season. I fully plan to watch the second season. So this review is mostly going to be on the first season. Now, for those of you who are going to say, well, you can't really review something if you've not seen it all, there's a lot that happens in the first season that, warrants me, access to actually review it. Anyway, so the first season was aired between the 3rd of April and the 25th of September 2015. And it tells the story of a young up-and-coming chef by the name of Souma Yukihira. Now, Souma's dream is to become a full-time chef in the quaint little kind of market strip where his father's restaurant is. His father, give me a second while I remember his name, is Jochiro, or Jochiro, whatever way you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so Souma's dream is to be a full-time chef in that little market strip. But unfortunately, in that little diner that he's working in, it has to be closed down for a while his father goes off and he gets a new job to travel the world. Excuse me. But instead of leaving Souma in charge of the restaurant, which is what Souma really wanted, Jochiro challenges him to go to this top-class, elite culinary school called Totsuki Culinary School, and it is the highest rated cooking academy in Japan, with only 1% of students who actually graduate. Now, that 1% who graduate go on to be the top of the line chefs that everybody wants. So basically they turn into the Jamie Oliver or Marco Pierre White or Gordon Ramsay of anime. Anyway, so I'll give a kind of a little bit of a description on Jochiro, mostly because, look at him. Does that not look like a man you would want as your father? He looks so cool and so kick-ass. And during the anime, it's actually kind of, insinuated, this dude, yeah, he's a legend. He's not just this, quaint little diner owner. He's been around. Anyway, so it's a 24 episode season. The first season anyway. Second season probably about the same. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But going into the characters, 3 characters in particular actually. One of them is Souma, because Souma is very relatable as a character. And what I mean by that is his goals are very worthy, very kind of realistic to goals that people will have in real life. He wants to surpass his father. His father has challenged him to cook-offs a number of times, and he's lost close to 500 times, not beaten him once. Souma craves and works hard for that one chance to beat him. That one time he beats him, that's all he's asking for. And Jochiro says to him, go to this academy, graduate, then maybe you'll beat me, because you'll learn a thing or two. But when Souma gets there, as you can imagine, Souma is very good at cooking, otherwise the show wouldn't be about him. Now, he makes amazing food. The funny thing is, he also makes food that is terrible when him and his father have this, bad cook-off, who can make the worst dish. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a minute. As I said, Souma's quite confident in his abilities. He himself said that he grew up in the kitchen since he was about 3 years of age, meaning his whole life has been cooking. Now, that is... I always believe nothing will beat experience. You can have all the skill in the world, you can have all the teachings, but if you don't have experience, all that means nothing. Anyway, Souma goes to this culinary school and is immediately shunned by everybody else, because everybody else there is coming from high-class restaurants. They've gone to the culinary schools before that. They passed the exams. They are top-range cooks. Souma is coming from a diner. So in that respect, everybody underestimates him. And they think he's not worth it. They think he's actually dirt compared to them. Now, as I said, he's very relatable as a character because even the way he carries himself, kind of, I don't really want to be here, but I'm doing it anyway because I want to prove a point. He's very relatable. Like, he's likable. He's quite funny in parts. He doesn't let anybody tell him he's not good enough. He lets his cooking do that, prove that he's good and he deserves to be there. But yeah. So but when it comes down to cooking, if he runs into a problem, he's very quick to improvise. He thinks far beyond simple cooking measures. If he gets too much salt for example, if he puts too much salt on meat, he'll then change the recipe up in order to compensate for that and end up making this amazing dish that looks phenomenal. Now, I know it's a cartoon and everything, but I'm not even gonna lie, the food that is made in that show is just... If it was handed to me on a plate, I probably wouldn't eat it. For some cases, it would be too beautiful to eat. I mean, look, come on. Who wouldn't want to eat something that looks like this? I know it's a cartoon and everything, but it looks so good. Anyway, so along the lines, as you can imagine, because he's in a school, he runs into rivals. Now, these are the other two characters I'm going to talk about. One is his actual rival. The other is a self-proclaimed rival. I'll talk about his actual rival. A girl by the name of Irina Nakiri. Now, during his, what's the word I'm looking for? His induction to the school. Nakiri is in charge of seeing who continues on from high school into this school, because the school is essentially the next step after high school, or middle school, I should say. And she's in charge. She gives them a task to use a simple egg and make any dish they want. Now, there's about 100 students in this point. They all run for the door. The reason for this is Nakiri has got what is called the God's tongue. Basically, her palate is so sophisticated, only the best food has ever been given to her. She can find a flaw with the most amazing looking cooking, but if it's not perfect and it's not, made to a T, she will tell you it's bad. Not even that it's okay, that it's bad. Unless the food is perfect, she will not touch it. If it's not handed to her on, a very nice looking plate, presented to her kind of nicely, she won't eat it. But it takes her a simple sip or a simple bite of any food, and she can tell you exactly what's in it, she can tell you exactly what you used, and she can tell you where you've gone wrong. Now, as I said, she's the actual rival to Souma, but what makes her a bit more higher up than most people, she's the granddaughter of the director of Tsukuda Culinary Academy, who is this badass looking samurai dude. I mean, this is the director of the school. I would not fuck with him in any sense, but I think he's amazing to look at. Anyway, he's not in the show very often, but when he is, he makes quite a big impact. Now, as I said, Nakiri is a rival to Souma in the sense that, well, more so one way, because she does not like Souma because he comes from a diner, and during this task she's given him, he actually blows her socks off. Like, the food he makes using an egg. The egg was the main ingredient. He blows her socks off, but she refuses to give him the satisfaction of saying what he did was good. She basically says it's disgusting, when in actual fact she feels it's really good, and she's threatened. But this is what I mean when I say I didn't like Nakiri at the start. I thought she was a big bitch. I just thought, no, you're higher up in the chain of people in the school, and you know it, and you think you're better than everybody else. But as the season went on, I kind of started to like her, simply because of she's a lot more depth to her than you would think. Now, turns out there's a slight kind of like history between herself and Jochiro, but we don't know what it is. All we know is that she aspires to be like him, and it's kind of funny because she doesn't know Souma is Jochiro's son. If she knew that, it might change the whole relationship, which is a good thing she doesn't know, because I kind of like it. But as well as that, she kind of changes her mind on Souma. She doesn't like him at the start. She doesn't think he belongs in the school. She thinks that he's gonna, fail, and he's gonna get sent home. Because when you fail anything in this school, chances are you're gonna get kicked out. 900 students start every year, and about only 100 of them make it into the final year. That's the statistic it's given. But Nakiri then along the line starts to kind of, accept Souma's cooking, accept his skill, and, kind of be a little bit easier on him, and kind of like starts to root for him a little bit, even if she herself will not say it. I think, personally, I think she starts to get a little bit of a crush on him because she sees him everywhere and she starts to get very flustered around him. That could be it as well because Soma's very laid back and very kind of like, yep, I know I'm good. I know I'm a good cook. I mean, sure, you can tell me I'm bad, but sure, I'll just take it and I'll be better next time. That's why I like Souma. Souma's this very go get him person. Very knock me down, I'll get up twice as hard and I'll hit you twice as hard back. Not physically, obviously he'll do it with his cooking because this is not a violent anime. The other rival I want to talk about is the self-proclaimed one. When I say self-proclaimed, I mean the guy's name is Takumi Aldini, and he's an Italian chef who comes, and he actually comes with his twin brother Isumi, yeah, Isumi or something like that. Who is quite more laid back. I didn't want to talk about him because like he's not really got that much of a purpose in the show other than being Takumi's older brother or younger brother. I think he's younger. Anyway, Takumi is obsessed with beating Souma. I don't know if it's an actual wanting to have a rival to make himself better, or it's a simple case of he's threatened by Souma's skill. Either or works because he's funny in his obsession. Every time he sees him, he's very kind of like, next time we meet, I will beat you. And then the next scene, he's on the bus beside Souma, and Souma's just like, yep, you said next time you beat me, so what's happening? Which is kind of what I like. It's kind of like really relatable. That's something I would do. Like, next time I see you, I'm going to beat you at cooking. Sees him on the bus. So, you're going to beat me at cooking now on a bus? Good job, man. Good, fantastic. Please, do try. I find that funny. That's something I would do, because I'm stupid like that. Now, I can praise this show a lot for what it is. Now, the main praise I will give it is its imagery. Now, it's very cleverly drawn anyway, and I think, it's, as I said, very cleverly drawn, and I think that, like, it flows very nicely. What I mean is imagery is to do more so with the food's taste. The idea is, Souma is a great cook. They all are. Everyone in that school is an amazing cook, even if they don't believe it. And I'm talking about, like, another character who's very kind of, like, shy and very kind of, like, down on herself. Now, the food is made to be pleasurable. What I mean by this is that when someone takes a bite of food and it's good, it turns into an almost sensual series of events. They're swept away into a world of magic and a world of, pleasure. And it does become almost sensual, where, like, they're groaning as if, for want of a better term, they're having a foodgasm. And it's like they're groaning, they're like, oh, this is so good, this brings back so many memories, I can feel the scent, the texture's so fluffy. And they're talking about the food as if, they're going through the food and saying why it's good. But while they're at it, they're getting, swept away by a sea of rice and being carried away by a prince made of cherries or something like that. But it's the noises that they make. It's very, very sensual. And you can kind of see their cheeks go a bit rosy. They close their eyes. Their knees kind of buckle in a bit. And this is just the women, by the way. The men have the same reaction, just maybe not the knees buckling thing. They do start to get kind of like wrapped in and stuff like that. And it's very sensual in that sense. The other side to it too is, remember I said how Souma and his dad have the bad food competitions where they get someone to taste it? Basically, it's whoever makes the worst dish, where they're again swept to a series of events, but this time it turns into almost like a hentai kind of thing. And for those who don't know what hentai is, it's essentially pornography, but anime style, like a tentacle kind of thing. Now, the reason I say it's like that is because most of the time when Souma makes bad food, it has something to do with squid. It's probably something like squid and peanut butter, which sounds disgusting. But that's the idea, is that squid now becomes alive in this series of events and violates the person. Now, when I say violates, I mean, it's kind of a nice imagery in the idea that it's almost as if that food, while it's violating the person, is violating their stomach. AKA, the food is so bad, it's almost insulting to be eating it. Insulting to the person. I mean, like, why are you giving me this and why am I eating it? But that's the idea. That's why I really like the imagery. Now, as I said, the food does look amazing. It really does. And I know for a fact there are people who have tried to make this food in real life. Because during the anime, the food will be presented and will look very, very nice. Sparkles and kind of like like any fluid is kind of oozing out really nicely. And, the kind of stuff you'll see and you're like, make you salivate. It's like, I'd love that. It's also described how it's made. Very, very quickly and very kind of like, very, very detailed in the sense of how it's made and what you do. Now, I know there has been a few people who have tried to make this food, and they've done pretty good jobs. Obviously, it's not possible to make. Well, it is possible, but it's not an amazing idea to make a cartoon food because it might not go as well as you think it's going to. It's definitely not going to look like what it looks like. But people have tried to make it, and that's kind of what I like. And that's going on to my next praise, is that the script writing. I had to take my ring off because it was starting to hurt me. The script writing is phenomenal. Now, Tsukuda must have known, or must have had some consultants who actually knew about cooking, because there's no way if he didn't know about cooking he could have given the instructions like he did. I have a feeling he knew a lot about cooking. I have a feeling he cooked quite a bit, and that he made some of these himself. That's what kind of like the script writing. It showed without even meaning to. It showed the knowledge that the writers had about cooking and culinary arts, as well as that there was no real insignificant part for character development. Each character interaction seemed to progress the story a little bit and give a bit more detail about the characters. Even small little interactions, like for example, Megumi and Souma at the very start. Souma did not make a good impression when he first went in, because people were like, this is a transfer student, and he immediately went and said, I'm going to be the best one here, so good luck to you. So immediately he was hated. So Megumi did not really want to be paired up with Souma in the first class. But a nice friendship grows there, and you kind of see that gradual kind of working together and making a friendship, and it's really kind of cute to see that. I'm also saying I would really love to see them make a dish together where it's like they're both making something, but making it together. What I mean by that is, usually when they cook together, one person's, as you would imagine, one's the main chef, the other's a sous chef. I would love to see them cook something together as equals. As well as that, the script writing and the actual food itself made me want to cook. That is not something an anime has done before. It made me get up and want to cook. I was just like, yeah, sure. I watched a couple of episodes of Food Wars and I was like, do you know what? I'd really love to make pork chops, or I'd really love to make a lasagna or something like that. And one thing I will say about this anime is, don't watch it when you're hungry, because it just kills you. Looks like it makes you want to go get food, and then you don't want to leave the anime, and that sort of stuff. I only have one, not contradiction, but one critique about this anime, and it's that there are some characters who are introduced that really don't play much of a purpose, and they're only in it for like a couple of episodes. One of them is Nao Sadasuka, who is kind of like this witch, kind of like cauldron, kind of stirring character. Now, I've not watched the second season, so if she comes back and has more of a role to play in the second season, by all means do it. Just the first season, she didn't really play much of a role, and it annoyed me a little bit, most because I liked the characters that were there. I liked Nakiri, I liked Souma, I liked Takumi, I liked Megumi, and I especially liked Ikumi, who was a meat specialist. Now, I will admit, this anime is a lot of fan service. When I say fan service, for those of you who understand what I mean, just think of Nami from One Piece. That's fan service. But at the same time too, it does not take away from the anime being good. As I said, it was not an anime I was expecting to like. I watched it simply because I was told it made my friend want to cook. I was like, okay, sure, it must be good then. I watched it, and when I went onto my anime list, when I finally made that account, so I had like a list of all the stuff I've watched and want to watch and have dropped, I actually rated Shokugeki no Souma quite high. I think it was, out of a possible 10, I gave it a 9, I think. I can't remember, I need to check that again. Basically, what a 9 is it was near perfect. But there was that one concept I didn't like. And the one concept was, it was the introduction of that unnecessary character. And that's just the first season. Now, I don't know if that changes, I'll go back and change that rating, saying she does actually have a purpose. But for now, it's a 9 out of 10. Which is pretty damn good for an anime. 10 being flawless to me. 10 being the opposite. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Cannot find one flaw with it. 9 is still, I really enjoyed it. It was excellent anime. Just that one concept that just so close to being perfect, but that one concept was what killed it for me. Anyway, that's my video now anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. I have a list of stuff to do. I'll probably do maybe a game next, because I'm trying to keep these all kind of like even. And I was just thinking I might do a book series as well. I don't know about that yet. That's still up in air. Anyway, so please check out my other videos, and I'm trying to get better at this, so please tell me if I'm doing a good job. So I will talk to y'all later. Peace out, have a good day, and love you guys. Mwah. Bye.